Hello and welcome to Monmouth in Focus, a program about the services and functions of Monmouth County government. I'm Cynthia Scott, your host for this segment of Monmouth in Focus. Today we are joined by Monmouth County Clerk Claire French. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
We have the election upon us. Always an exciting time of year for you, Claire, but an extremely busy one as well, correct?
That's true.
Let's talk just about the preparations and well, when is the election this year? Obviously, we know November.
The election is always the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November, so it's November 4th.
And lots of people getting out to vote, but what's the deadline to vote in the general election?
Well, if you're going to vote on election day, the deadline is 8 p.m.
Right.
But the polls open at 6 in the morning until 8. If you're applying for a vote by mail ballot, we have to have that by 8 o'clock on election night. Or if you want to vote in person, it is 3 p.m. The day before election.
Okay. What about?
And you can only vote in person at my office, my election office on Halls Mill Road in Freehold.
Okay, only there. That's the only location.
Only there, but people have to remember if they want to vote in person, as soon as the ballots are printed, which this year we will be sending them out September 20th, anytime after that, they can simply come to my office, vote in person, and it's done.
Okay, so anytime after September 20th, they don't have to wait until Election Day.
That's right. When Hurricane Sandy came, we had 3,000 people come to the office on Halls Mill Road. Their polling place might have been reestablished in another place. They wanted their ballot to count because it was a presidential year, and they came to our office to make sure it happened.
Right.
And they stood outside sometimes for hours on a very cold day, but their vote was counted.
Now, what about registering to vote? There's a certain deadline for that as well.
Yes, the deadline for registering to vote is 3 weeks before election. So that would be October 14th.
But lots of opportunity. There's no reason why people shouldn't vote because there's a lot of opportunity there, like you said, Claire.
We have so many options in this country for people to vote. And in our county, let me tell you about a few of those options. Now, first of all, there's the vote by mail ballot. And the vote by mail ballot application gives you options on it. Is it just for this one election that you're going to be out of town maybe? Do you want to indicate on that application that you are requesting ballots be sent to you for every election this year? Or do you want to indicate on that application that you want to vote in every general election by mail and you want ballots sent to you? Let me tell you a few of the others. People that are disabled, that sometimes can't get to a poll, have someone take them, request a messenger to pick up their ballot, take it to them, and return it. A lot of people do use that option. A messenger, though, can only carry 10 ballots returned to us, no more than that.
Okay.
If a person is visually impaired, every single polling location has special equipment to aid the visually impaired, so they can vote in privacy just like everyone else. Also, you can apply for a vote by mail application any time in the year. We don't start sending them out until they're printed. But I can tell you that this year we have over 11,000 we already have in our office that'll be sending them out early September so that people will get their ballots. Also, on Election Day, if for some reason you go to the polls and they say you're not in the book, we will not let you vote, you still have an option to appear before a judge in our election office on Halls Mill Road on Election Day. Make your case for why you should have the right to vote, and that judge can authorize us to give you a ballot and you can vote it that very day. And overseas voters, whether it's military or someone residing overseas, can vote by email. They're the only people that can vote by email. But most people choose to exercise their right to vote by coming in person to the polls.
Right. There's just something about showing up at the polls and getting behind the curtain and doing it, right?
It's an exciting day.
Yeah.
And people have taken great risks in their lives all across the world for the ability to do what we take for granted sometimes.
Absolutely.
So it's very important to vote.
And you mentioned mail-in ballot, which is also what they call an absentee ballot, correct?
It had been called the absentee ballot, but it was changed to a vote by mail ballot a couple of years ago.
And the deadline for that is?
The deadline for that, we have to have the application in our office a week before election. That would be October 28th. That's because we have to have a chance to process your application, prepare a ballot, send it to you, and then you have to get it back to us by election. So if you're running that tight, and there's any way you can come in person and vote, that's what I would recommend.
And every mail-in ballot, you count every single one, even if the race is extremely wide?
Yes, in some states, they don't count the paper ballots unless there's a tie and the number of the paper ballots would make a difference. But in New Jersey, it's very clear. All 21 counties, the law in the state of New Jersey is every ballot is counted.
Okay, so there's different laws in different states.
Yes, there are.
Now, you're busy all year long in the election offices, but I would imagine, when do you really start gearing up for the November election?
Well, sometimes that election office will have maybe 30 or 40,000 applications, and it's a small office. So I send people, volunteers from some of my other departments, over to give them a hand. And I'd say right now we're already busy with those vote-by-mail applications. When the election day comes and the week before, getting the kits out to all the polling locations for the board workers to use. And on election night, it is sometimes a late night.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, a lot of people, oh, it's election night. Oh, no, it's election night. It's going to be a crazy night. But there's something about election night where there is excitement.
Well, everyone wants to know the results as soon as possible. So what we did to help that was I purchased laptop computers for every one of the 53 municipal clerks. They have a cartridge reader. The cartridges come out of the voting machines on election night. The cartridges are read by that laptop, and the information is sent to me directly, and I link it to the internet. And it's important that everyone know that no one in the world will know the election results before anyone else. They go to visitmonmouth.com, elections, and they can see the numbers changing as we get them.
Which is amazing.
It is
exciting.
I mean,
what was election night before the internet? We'd put on the news and see who won.
That's right. And in a lot of cases, the media's deadline was early.
Right.
So if there was some reason that the results didn't get to you, their news would not be on the front page the next day because they simply wouldn't have enough information.
Right, exactly. They're deadline driven. So once again, Claire polls open at 6 a.m. on Tuesday, November 4th.
Yes.
And they close at 8 p.m.
They close at 8 p.m.
Okay.
And then our work starts.
There, and your work starts, right? It's not over after that.
No.
It's a lot of work for the
That's
next couple of weeks even. I mean.
Yes, and on election night, the past 2 years, we have added another feature with some special software. So anyone that wants to know how every office did in their voting district, whether you're an elected official candidate or whether you're simply an interested citizen that wants to see uniquely how did their district vote for all the candidates, you can go on our site now, and it's very colorful, very easy to use, and people are really commenting how much they enjoy getting the small facts quickly.
All right. Thanks so much, Claire. Lots of great information, as always, from you. Great to see you.
Wonderful to see you, Cynthia.
And if you need more information about elections, you can, of course, go to www.visitmonmouth.com. I'm Cynthia Scott. Have a great day, everyone.